After Powell's speech in the Jackson Hole annual meeting yesterday, we see Ethereum pump all the way to the upside, about 10% increase, okay, in few hours. Look at it right here. Market pump all the way upward, and right now we see this market coming back down a little bit. Something is about to happen in the crypto market in the next 20 to 30 days. Look at coin market cap right here. Discover that the altcoin index have shifted into the 52%, okay, and what I am expecting is 60 over 100 or 70 over 100, between that range, to see aggressive pump in the market. And that is what the market perceived after Powell's speech yesterday in the Jackson Hole annual meeting. So what next for the market? Let's look at that quickly in this very video. If you look at the price of Bitcoin, you discover that Bitcoin actually moved up, but not as we see in the case of Ethereum and many other altcoins out there. So if you look at this very point, market is actually coming back down on the price of Bitcoin, which is not a bad thing, because I was actually expecting this very correction. And where I am expecting this correction to come into is this very area right here. So pay attention to market coming down into this very point. Of course, market can come back to the same point. That possibility is there in the next 20 to 30 days. That is what I'm expecting. Market should come back down from where it is right now at this very point into this area before the next move to the upside, or market come into this very point before the final move to the upside. In any case, I am not expecting aggressive dump in the market all the way to the downside. I know some person has saying that we need to see market come all the way down to 110 and $105,000 before we are going to see Bitcoin begin to move crazily all the way to the upside. In my opinion, that is not what I am expecting right now on price action. I'm expecting that the market just come down a little bit into this very area before the next move to the upside, or market come into this very area before the final move to the upside. And this is what I am now paying attention to on my price action, BTCUSDT for our chart. Very, very important. And the reason why market is pumping this much is because if you look at the price of Ethereum, there is a sign that Fed is going to cut interest rates in September, and the chance is very, very high. In fact, from Powell's speech, it signaled that there is going to be a 100 basic point cut. Okay, what that means is if the current basic point is sitting at 4.25 and 4.50, within that very range, it also means that if they cut 100 points, that means it will send the interest rate into 3.25 and 3.50. What that also translates into is that they're not just going to cut interest rate 100%, that is 100 basis points at once. They can cut gradually, and that is why I am looking at them cutting in September between 25 basis points and 50 basis points. The certainty right now that Fed is going to cut interest rates in September is very, very high. But I'm looking at between 25 and 50, okay? Nothing above 50 basic points in September. Fed is going to cut rate, and that is why market is reacting like this. So the price of ETH move all the way to the upside, okay, to this very point. And right now, what I am expecting, because Ethereum have already created a new all-time high at this very point right here. So if it has created a new all-time high, then markets have capacity of retracing a little bit before continuation to the upside. And that is why I am not looking at something very different on this very price action. So from this very area, expect the market to come into this very point. I'm looking at the market come into this very area a little bit. We see this very point of important interest right at this very area. Okay, so market have capability of coming into this very point right here before the final move to the upside, and that is a possibility right now on price action. Market is going to move upward. However, this very area is still very, very potent, because that is where we see the market move up from. So this very point is very, very important. If I draw this out, you see it's exact same point. So two area you need to pay attention to for the final move on Ethereum in my opinion, is this very point. Market come here before the final move to the upside, and the market come into this point before the final move to the upside. These are the two areas I am expecting market to come back into on the price of Ethereum before the final move to the upside. In fact, I saw an analysis yesterday that said Ethereum is going to come back down to $3,800 and $3,900. Do you believe that analysis? Comment below in the comment section of this video. Do you believe that Ethereum is going to come back down to 3,800 and 3,900 before the final move to the upside? Comment below. And I am not expecting that personally. I'm expecting just a little correction into this area in the next 30 to 20 days. So pay attention to this. And the market also have capability of moving upward on the price of ETH. That means market can move upward. Okay, this is weekend already, and then consolidate within this very area of all-time high, and then the final move to the upside. That is also a possibility, but I am not expecting aggressive drop all the way to the downside on the price of Ethereum. That is off the table for me right now, regardless of what is going to happen in the market from now moving forward. Blum USDT 4-hour chart. If you look at this trade, we took this trade right here on the Telegram channel few days ago, and this very entry right here, this is the take profit target, this is the SL. We have these very parameters, but one thing very important here is that market move up a little bit into profit, but right now is still within our entry zone. So I am still expecting the market to move upward. Of course, market will not just fly into this very area. That possibility is there, but market is going to move upward in my opinion. However, market can come down a little bit, okay, before the final move to the upside. In any case, this position is still very valid, and I am expecting the market to move all the way to the upside. And if you observe, since we took this position around this very area, okay, market has not really moved up or down. So what I'm expecting is for the market to continue that upward move all the way to the upside on the price of Blum. 4-hour chart USDT. This is what you need to pay attention to right now on your price action. If you look at the price of Pi USDT 4-hour chart, it is covered that markets have not really moved, and I was expecting market to come into this very area. Exact same thing, market move upward, market come back down. I am still expecting the market to come back down on the price of Pi. That is very unfortunate, but that is what I am looking at, and you may be paying attention to something different, and that is very, very okay. So on the price of Pi, I am expecting market to come back to the downside, because I can see a lot of sell pressure on this very price action. Market did not really move. As market was moving yesterday, discovered that there is no significant move on this very price action around this very area, which means there is no strength from the bulls moving this market to the upside. However, market should come back down into this very area of important support before any move to the upside on the price of Pi. This is what I am personally looking at right now on this very price action. And if you look at this very area on the price of Sui USDT 4-hour chart, it is covered that the market moved significantly all the way from this very area. What I was looking at, if you pay attention to my immediate last video, was liquidity grab, and you discover that liquidity was grabbed at this very point right here, okay, after Powell gave that very amazing statement about interest rate cut next month, September. That possibility is very high. Market move all the way from this very point after liquidity grab to this very point, and then right now market is going to move upward. So there are areas that we need to pay attention to right now on this very price action. This very point is very important, but this very area is where we should shift our focus to right now. This very point right here, this is where the market is actually rejecting from. If you notice, this is the last bullish candle before this bear drop all the way to this very point, and then from here market begin to move all the way to the upside. One thing that is very profound on this very price action is the fact that if you look at it, market just spike into this very area and then come back down, okay? So it's coming back down gradually. So this very point is very important. If we break out on this very area of important resistance, meaning market is going to begin to pump all the way to the upside, and that breakout is very necessary on the price of Sui. However, we should pay attention to market come back down into this very area as well. So this is what you must have to pay attention to right now. This very point is an important area that market can come back into before the final move to the upside. This is what I am personally looking at on the price action. Market come back down into this area and then market move upward, or we see a breakout here with a significant bullish candle. Market is going to begin to move all the way to the upside as well. This is what you need to pay attention to, in my opinion. And if you look at the price of Solana is not doing bad. You see that the market moves significantly on the price of Sol, and with this significant move, market come into this very point as well, important area of resistance. And if market come into this important area of resistance, it means that the market have capability of rejecting from this very area as well. And that is why this very point is very, very necessary. So market from here is going to come back down a little bit, in my opinion, before the final move to the upside. So the level we should pay attention to is this very area right here. This is where I think market is going to retrace into before the final move to the upside. And if market did not retrace into this very area, it also means that market can consolidate within this point of resistance and then break out to the upside. So on the immediate short term, on the price of Sol, expect the market to come back down, okay, into this point, retracement before continuation to the upside. Very, very important. And if you come to coin market cap, you discover that the global crypto market cap have increased significantly in the past few hours from $3.83 trillion to $3.99, almost $4 trillion, back to where we saw the markets in July, which means approaching September, something good can really happen to this very number, and it can do 5 trillion, 6 trillion, 7, even up to $10 trillion. That is my expectation in this very bull market. And one amazing thing is the altcoin index. What I am expecting on the altcoin index is between 60 over 100 or 70 over 100 to see aggressive pump in the market. And right now, market have shifted into 52 over 100. So that is a good thing. I want to see more from this very index. This is very important. Pay attention to all of these to be in the right direction of the market. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this one. Also check the channel for other crypto content. Join our Telegram channel if you want to receive signal like this, because as we begin to see aggressive pump in the market, I'll be dropping signals and important updates for you to actually get the best out of the bull market. Very important. Don't miss it. Join right now. Link in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. It is a free channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.